Well, good. Yeah. So that's, so yeah, how many of us in here are doing the ultimate portion? So Joy, Mariana, Robin.
Well, I've already done it. So
Okay. You're kind of in there refreshing.
I'm
So
just doing regular 21-day fix.
So
I
if
guess
you
it's
saw
different.
the announcement that was on Wednesday, basically they're going to be revamping Ultimate Portion Fix to call it Just Portion Fix again,
Yeah.
simplify it down, which will be really exciting because I think that's really important for like a fast start for people, because right now, if you've had the Ultimate Portion Fix videos, there's a lot, and it can feel daunting and it's a lot of information. So this is going to be more like a quick start guide and just really getting into the program. And we'll find out more as it comes out. It'll be July with Amwala's program 645 that it'll release as the new program. So if you already have Ultimate Portion Fix, you will have this new plan.
Is she gonna revamp the lists again? Is she gonna like take stuff off the list? Really, I'm afraid she's gonna take my mayonnaise from me.
I don't know, but I would guess they're going through the whole thing, right? Because they're probably just anything that they've had as suspect or things that need to change or typos or anything. I'm sure they're going to take this opportunity to kind of go in and revamp it. But
so is it going to be more like the original 21-day fix?
Well, they're the same, Kathy. So the plans are exactly the same. It's just that the Ultimate Portion Fix has more video series to talk you through it.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're going to bring that video series into a more simplified version. And what I'm curious about too is, since a bunch of us are doing the certification for Master Coach in Ultimate Portion Fix. And so I wonder how they're going to change that piece of the program too. I mean, it'll be kind of interesting going through the old program and then seeing what the new program looks like, to see what changes there are. So yeah, but it'll be really the same thing. It's just kind of going back to its roots of being more simple. They did make it more complicated with the full video series, and it's great if you want the detail. But I know a lot of people just want to get into the plan and get it working, right? They just want to start using the plan. And so I would assume the videos are going to take you more to like that portion fix time, when it's just, here's your calories, here's how you lay it out, here's the food lists, and then the details of that other stuff. I don't know if they're going to be
later on.
Yeah, maybe later on, or maybe maybe it's going to be like extra credit. I don't know.
Yeah, those videos are intense, just for you, not even necessarily the certification, but the home videos, because I've been watching, a couple of those, let's be honest. And well, friends, I see the people in the audience nodding.
Right? They're all like staring off into space.
Right.
Like,
and I'm like, I feel that. Like,
yeah.
I'm in my soul. I literally feel that. So
I know.
I mean, I think the intention is good and I love it. Like, my husband makes fun of like, we have all the container, we have like I'm eating out of a container right now. But no, like, they're fantastic for portion control, like understanding what a portion looks like and being able to like eat within that, which I love. So
yes, there's so many
take
great
my mayonnaise.
She's gonna leave your mayonnaise alone, I'm sure of it.
She better. That and my peanut butter. I don't need that negativity in my life.
You need like a tank top. Don't touch my mayonnaise. Yeah, I think it'll be really good, because there's just so, like, when you're getting started on a nutrition plan, you just want to get started and not feel like you're swimming underwater and everything's complicated and hard. So I think it'll be really a good shift. So coming in July.
Well, and they're also going to incorporate intermittent fasting as well.
Yeah, I'm finding that
was really one of the things that they talked about, was the intermittent fasting.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's because Amwala uses it with his clients, but his clients are also men.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more shocked to hear that, because
Autumn's been against it.
Yes.
So, and I really wonder how intermittent it's going to be. Like, is it going to be like a 16-8? I mean, I can't imagine they go past a 16-8, but it might be, I don't know. I don't know how she's going to do it. I'm really fascinated to see what happens.
Especially since the only video I watched this week was like, you've got to get that metabolism running, eating that breakfast first thing. And I know I've heard her say intermittent. She doesn't
like it. And and those of us who are reading that book Roar, she's fully against it because she feels like it changes you hormonally. It creates more stress on your body.
And we already fast overnight.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I probably go 14 hours when I stop eating dinner and by the time I eat breakfast most days. And maybe it's going to be more geared toward that, like a natural fast, not like a really shoving it into hours. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do it, because then the other thing Carl put up there was a muscle building plan. That was like his third slide that she said this would have. So I thought that was interesting too.
Didn't you say the Ultimate Fix also had something with carb cycling?
She does, and that stays in there.
Okay.
I believe it's 2 days on and 1 day off.
Because that's not the original. That's not in
Right.
21 Day Fix.
Right. So the original has a countdown to competition, which is a carb cycling plan. But it's a little different than the plan that's in Ultimate Portion Fix, because in Ultimate Portion Fix, you are using it as a long-term carb cycle more so than in Portion Fix. It's to get to a goal or to get to like a competition, to get to a certain date, an event, and then you go resume normal eating. So.
Yeah, I used it before my bachelorette party and it was fantastic and I really enjoyed it.
And what did you find after you added your carbs back in?
I was also on a cruise in a bathing suit the entire time, but that's fine.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
It was horrible.
Awful.
Joy, it was awful.
So yeah, so
in the Ultimate with this carb cycling, what are you saying? They do 2 days with carbs or without?
I think it's I'm
2
not
days
positive. Is it 2 days
with
with carbs and 2
carbs,
days without?
right?
Okay, so I've got it.
Okay.
Oh, good. Robin wins.
So,
So Deanna, we were asking, how does the carb work? Is it 2 days off or 2 days on?
Let me see.
all right, so.
Sorry, Lily.
Followed by a day. So there's a three-week calendar. You'll do 2 days of carb depletion followed by a day of your regular Ultimate Portion Fix meal plan for 3 weeks.
Okay,
So
so you're 2
2
days
days,
off,
yeah.
1
2
day
days,
on.
yeah. 2 days of carb depletion, 1 portion fix, 2 carb depletion, one day portion fix. And that's for 3 weeks. And then they have a modified plan that you can do if that's too much. You do 2 portion fix, 1 carb depletion.
That makes sense. So that's more long-term.
But that's a 3-week.
The first one's a 3-week with 2 days off and then 1
Right,
day.
but the second one is if it's too much, if the carb depletion is too much, then the modified carb cycling plan is to do 2 days of portion fix and 1 carb cycle, and then 2 portion fix and 1 carb cycle, 2 portion fix, 1 carb cycle, and you do that for 3 weeks.
Right. So they're both still only 3 weeks. So none of them are a long
Oh,
term.
they're all only 3 weeks, so they're not like lifetime.
No, it's not meant to be a lifetime.
No.
Yeah. Carb
Oh.
cycling is not recommended for lifetime, but so it's meant to be to an event, essentially. If you're depleting for a competition, because she used to be a figure competitor.
Okay.
And that's why this came up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, should we get into the supplement part? So I brought the brochure because then I can discuss legally what all the things we can talk about. Kim will know that it's good that I'm in compliance here. So because we had a compliance call last week about how basically you can't really discuss things that aren't clinically proven or aren't things that Beachbody already talks about. Obviously, we all have personal stories that are associated with supplements or Shakeology or things like that. And we can talk about those in general to each other. But because it's a recorded call, this will exist in the universe. So we want to talk about the things that are proven and part of the marketing. So hope that makes sense. All right. So the Beachbody supplement line, what I wanted to talk about is just the basics of each thing, when you use it, how you use it, and to get an idea of if you had questions about those types of things, like when and how and why. I've been seeing a lot lately in some of the fitness groups talking about creatine and, you know, why you use it, when you use it, how it works, things like that. So we can just run through each product and talk about, you know, what it's all about. So the first one in the booklet, and if you've gotten anything from the performance line, you got this booklet. Yep, Joy's got hers. And so Energize is our first one. And I know a lot of us use Energize because Energize is life, right? It is like how we get the workouts done. So there's some really cool things. First, there's no artificial sweeteners in Energize, which a lot of pre-workouts have artificial sweeteners in them, artificial coloring. Ours naturally is super bright, and don't ever get it on something white because they'll stain it. And it's funny because I went to the dentist last week and she's like, you have a little bit of staining. And I'm like, well, let's see. I have my coffee, then my blueberries and my oatmeal, and then my Energize. So I am pretty much stacking it up in the morning. So I need to change when I'm brushing my teeth. So there's 3 things in Energize that make it so wonderful to get us boosted for our workout. Beta alanine, so that's to help increase your muscle output. The low dose caffeine, that's going to just give us a little bump. And then the quercetin, which helps improve endurance during the workout. So maybe if you previously were in your workout and 15 minutes in, you kind of hit a lull, like, I don't know if I can finish it. That quercetin is going to help get you longer into the workout. And the beta alanine is going to get you more output, less muscle fatigue. Okay. So there's 3 flavors. Who all uses Energize, and what's your flavor?
Lemon.
Lemon. Yeah, I like to mix mine too. Lemon and fruit punch.
I got a fruit punch.
All of them.
Yeah.
Mixed berry.
I've only tried the mixed berry. That's the only one I have.
Oh, it's my
I find that
favorite.
one like almost like kid candy-ish. Yeah. Like my 14-year-old loves the mixed berry, but like I don't know, fruit punch is probably my favorite. And then lemon's just good.
I do mixed berry and lemon or fruit punch and lemon. I mix them no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you mix 2 servings or is it like half a serving?
Half a serving.
Okay.
I usually do a heaping scoop.
Yeah, I get the packet so I can, if I'm like running out the door.
I get the
Have you
container
heard of
from-
people drinking, like just throwing it in their mouth and then
I
throwing
think
water?
it's kind of, I'll be honest, I think it's a little ridiculous because they were doing dry shots with other things too. And I'm like, we don't need to be on TikTok doing dry shots.
Yeah, I don't.
No, but I do lick my fingers. I almost licked the table the other day and I was like, no, that's too far.
I don't know if you guys saw my video when I poured water in my Recover empty jar because I didn't want to waste any of it.
I do that with my Energize every time I shake it, pour the drink in there and shake it around.
Yeah.
I do that with my Shakeology. If I have a lot of fruit in it, like blueberries, leaves that thick, I'll put water in it and shake it because I want it all.
You're like, give it all to me.
I had Energize on my leg and my husband's like, is that highlighter? I was like, it's pre-workout. Don't judge me.
He lick it off.
Or are there any questions about Energize or
Can you take it more than one? Like I have it in the morning and then I have it at night. I just want to make sure that
You
Okay.
can. So it's caffeine, you know, it has a lower dose of caffeine. And
that's-
so I would consider it like a cup of coffee. So if you're fine with having a cup of coffee in the afternoon, then this is fine also. And I kind of like the feeling you get out of Energize sometimes, because sometimes with my afternoon coffee, it makes me more tired, whereas
Yep.
the Energize doesn't, right? It's kind of like the focused energy. Energize is going to give you a little more boost than focused energy, but you do get this nice kind of sustaining awakeness with it. And the thing I was worried about with taking a pre-workout, it took me a long time to try Energize because I did not want to feel jittery. That was really worrying to me. Like I didn't want to have that kind of jittery feeling or feel like my heart rate was elevated. And I found it to be really great. So I know some pre-workouts can cause that jitteriness. You will get a little face melting if you get a little extra, but it's not the same feeling as like your heart rate spiking. So
The lemon does that to me. The lemon makes me tingle,
yes,
but the other ones don't.
I totally agree. And I wonder what it is. I don't know.
I don't know.
And I like
That's
lemon.
tingly.
So I used to get the tingles, but I don't anymore. Like it doesn't do that at all anymore. After I did the ultimate reset, it did it maybe less than a handful of times again, because I didn't have it the entire time that I was on the ultimate reset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never get it anymore. I've been told that that's the beta alanine.
I believe that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. All right. Well, then let's go on to recover. So recover is one of those things, if some of us are certified trainers too, and if you, during that training, they talk about after your workout, having a protein and a fruit, because those are the things that replenish your muscles. So recover is built for that. You have BCAAs, you have protein, and you have pomegranate extract, and it is a faster absorbing protein and a glucose so that your muscles can be replenished faster. And that's why you're supposed to have it within that 30-minute window too, because that's when your muscles really want it and it's useful. Otherwise, it kind of goes in more like just a regular protein. So I find I'm much less sore when I have recover, and you know that then helps with workouts later, but I also really love the taste. So I have recover honestly on most days because I like it. And I just like, even if it's a cardio day or something, I'll have recover. It's just kind of one of those things I like to have because I don't probably get as much protein. If I'm gonna like have an extra something or miss a container, it's probably going to be a protein. I don't work it in as well now that I'm not having eggs. So it's just one of those things where I like to get that recover in, make sure I have some protein.
Do the supplements count toward any containers or are they on top of it?
So if you use them as directed, they do not count as your containers. So with this recover, if you have it within the 30 minutes, then you don't count it. If you have it later in the day, then it's a red because it is 20 grams of protein. So it would be a red container.
And what about the Energize?
Energize doesn't count as anything. I think it's like 15 or 30 calories or something. I can't remember now what it is. I don't know if it says on here. It's pretty minimal in calories. It does not count. And none of the containers actually count against you if they're used at the times you're supposed to use them.
Okay.
For the performance line.
I like the
It's 20 calories.
20
Oh, 20
calories is
calories.
Energized. Okay.
Yeah, the recover is super light. It's far lighter than like Shakeology I
Yeah.
found, which I really enjoy.
And some people put fruit in it, blend it up with fruit in it if they want, like, especially if you're on time nutrition, then you could have that fruit after your workout, depending on which plan you're on. That was one of the plans I was on. There was a fruit after your workout.
Yeah, 80-day obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions on recover? How it works, how it goes?
I know when we talked about absorbing protein last week. If you're to have your 20 grams of recover and then you're going to have your Shakeology an hour later or an hour and a half later, is your body going to absorb both of those proteins, or are you wasting protein?
So from what I've heard, right, and I put an article in there too. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. So that used to be the assumption that we could only do so much at a time. And then newer studies show that we actually will not get rid of it as easily. We'll hold on to the extra protein so that our body uses it. So the way Beachbody talks about it is that hour in between is plenty of time, and that's okay. You have your recover, and then an hour later have your shake. You're not confusing things. They don't recommend you have recover and Shakeology together, but that hour apart is enough time to do it. So they've gone through and studied that and found it's fine, but it sounds like even the science is leaning toward your body's still going to figure out a way to use it if you had it together. But honestly, I'd like the flavors separate anyway. I don't know. I'd want to have both those things at
What are
one
the
different
flavors
time.
that you cover?
Hey, Diana, so
Yeah.
you could have like the recover with your breakfast instead of the Shakeology and just leave the the Shakeology for a snack during the day?
Well, so your recover should come within 30 minutes of you finishing your workout.
Mhm.
So if your
Okay.
breakfast is then that's totally fine. And I have my shake for lunch or I have it in the afternoon. So you can have your shake anytime during the day. There's not necessarily a time that's necessary. Now, if you don't have recover, Shakeology can be a really great thing to have after your workout because it still has a good dose of protein in it and can help replenish your muscles. So, if you're not using a supplement after the workout, that can be a good time to have it too.
I do, but sometimes like you said, I mean, within an hour, I take the recover and the shake. So I'm like, if it's more protein on the recover, that would be like my coffee or whatever with the pancakes that I mix. And that would be my breakfast for leaving the Shakeology for later time.
Yeah, I mean, technically the way Beachbody has the plan is you would take your recover and then any other meal, Shakeology, food, whatever you're going to have would be an hour later after the recover. So, and if that works in your schedule, I mean, I know sometimes that doesn't work for schedules for eating and.
Yeah, it is a little complicated, but it's okay.
What were you gonna say, Kathy?
Is Shakeology used as a meal?
It is. It
So
is considered a meal replacement.
All right, so it's either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or one of the snacks.
Well, kind of, because you could have a shake and some food with it too. Or
You
like
count it as a protein, right?
well, Shakeology itself is a red container, but like I add a purple container and a green container to it. So I have enough calories that it's a meal, but you could do just the Shakeology, shaken with ice and water and then have, some other type of meal with it. You kind of just have to do whatever works in your, day and plan and what you like to eat.
Okay.
For me, I definitely think it's a meal for breakfast, but for dinner, I'd have it with a salad or some roasted vegetables or something else.
I usually have it for a snack with like a fruit or a vegetable. I used to drink it for breakfast, but I don't anymore. Now I drink recover because I work out in the morning. So.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll go on to Hydrate. Does anybody use Hydrate? My child does. He loves it.
I do.
I use it occasionally.
On occasion. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So Hydrate is just, it's a hydrating liquid. It's got electrolytes. There is quercetin in that too, then to help with your exercise endurance. It does have a lower amount of sugar and carbs in it. So it's really not as many calories as if you're going to have like a Gatorade or something. So it is one of those things hydrating, right? So if you are going to do a 45-minute workout or more, that would probably be a great time to have it. It may not be necessary in your 30-minute workout. You may not deplete. If you're working out in hot circumstances, it can be nice to replenish. You really it's kind of up to you. It's kind of like a bonus one, I think, where depending on your circumstances, you can do whatever you would like. And there is only one flavor. of Hydrate?
I add like a fourth of the little scoop to the Energize. I mean, when I'm normally doing like the work right now,
Yeah.
I do, and it helps me last the 45 minutes of workout.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I've heard of other people combining Hydrate with Energize, and I haven't seen anyone say that that's of any issue. It's just, do you drink your Energize through your workout? Or do you
I
drink
mix
all
it. I mix the Energize with the Hydrate, and I completely mix the 24 ounces of water and one scoop of Energize and a little bit of the Hydrate, and that helps me for the 45 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, any questions on that? There is a comparison in here with the other sports drinks. I don't know. About like, how many grams of sugar and carbs and things like that are in here. So if you have your booklet, you can look through that.
I know like 2 weeks ago, right before my husband and I got our second COVID vaccine shot, he wanted to get Gatorade. And of course, Gatorade is 64 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
So I was like, here, how about the 0 sugar Gatorade, honey? And I was surprised when he went for it, because sometimes he's like, no, and I was like, 0 sugar. Like, I cannot, like, you will be diabetic by the end of this COVID shot if you get that much sugar. So that's interesting, but I've never tried the Hydrate. What flavor does it come in?
What
Citrus?
sweet is the Hydrate?
Well, there is a little bit of sugar in it, I believe. I should have grabbed my container. Let's see if the ingredients are on here. They're not on this one. Kathy, I will put it in our group. I'll take a picture of the back of it, and then we can see, and I'll put it on below when the recording for this, and then
I've got it.
Oh, okay.
It's so beet sugar, dextrose, and natural mandarin orange flavor, and stevia leaf extract.
Okay, there you go. And it's like 40 calories for a full scoop, is that right? Or 30?
Yes.
40.
Yep. 40, and it is 9 grams of sugar.
It's kind of a nice subtle flavor, honestly. It's not like strong like Energize. It's just kind of a background flavor. Kind of like what Bev said White Claws are in your post.
So it kind of works
Remember
like
that?
water hydrating you? Is that why it's called Hydrate? It's like
No,
water?
there's electrolytes in it. So, and so like, basically you can get that, we used to do a quick electrolyte. If you do like a little lemon juice and some Himalayan sea salt and some water, that also is like an electrolyte replenish. There's lots of ways to just add a little bit to your water, because just straight water doesn't necessarily have nutrients in it, right? Some do, some depends on where it came from. But it's adding in some of those electrolytes so that your body is absorbing some nutrients too at the same time to help with hydration.
Okay.
All right, so let's go to recharge. I like my recharge. I forget to take it a lot of nights, but it's like, I think it's like moon sand. It's the weirdest consistency in a powder, and it tastes to me like a marshmallow. So Recover is one of those things where, especially if you're doing weighted workouts, and it's not like Recover where I take it because I did cardio. I usually do save the recharge for when I'm in a pretty heavy weighted program. But it absolutely helps with a slow release of protein as your body is repairing itself through the night. And if you've read Roar, you will also know that she highly recommends Tart Cherry to help with sleep. Well, Recharge has Tart Cherry. So it tells you to take it within 30 minutes to an hour of falling asleep. And Tart Cherry helps your body create its own melatonin. So it helps it to resolve itself in those issues rather than adding melatonin in from the outside. It helps you to make it. So it also has BCAAs, branch chain amino acids. I didn't say that the first time. That's what BCAA is. It is the chains that make up protein. Okay, so BCAAs are proteins, and there's 9 essential. Hopefully I got that number right. It's been a while since I read my book. And that essential meaning that you need, your body can't necessarily make enough for you. So you need to ingest those things so that your body has those things. And so this is a casein protein, and that's the slow release portion of things. It's just something that allows your body then to use it as it's repairing while it's sleeping. Sleeping is the time when your body repairs itself. It kind of resets. It has time to get in there and do things. You're not doing activities, right? You're just able to lay there. So that's when your body uses its energy to get in and at a cellular level, get into those muscles and fix the tears. So it also helps with soreness. And I definitely notice a difference on that, especially if I'm starting a new program, taking Recharge in the beginning.
Do you just mix it with water like 30 minutes before you go to bed?
I shake the tar out of it because it's like sometimes it gets a little lumpy. So you get like little bits in there, but sometimes it's fine. So yeah. I don't know.
Does it have melatonin in it, or is it just?
No, it has the tart cherry to help you produce it. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't studied enough on melatonin, but from the things I've listened to, it's not necessarily a great long-term strategy because then your body may not make it for itself and you're then changing your body's ability to do things. And that's just something we don't really want to mess with. So
I was at Costco yesterday and they had sweet cherries or tart cherries there, but they had sugar with them. I'm like, what the heck?
So
I had it in my hand and I was gonna buy it, and then I looked at the ingredients, and of course it said sugar.
Oh,
like, really?
So is it like like actual cherries?
It was dried tart cherries, yes.
Oh, okay.
And they had added sugar to it.
I looked at that at Whole Foods today. Also, I was just looking it back up to see. I didn't get it either, but.
Well, and this is a tart cherry powder, so you might be able to find a tart cherry powder like in a supplement section if you wanted just that kind of a thing.
Now, I just love cherries.
You just right? I know, and you're gonna miss cherry season, Lily.
Oh, believe me, everywhere we've been, I've been looking because it's my favorite fruit, but there's no cherries around anywhere.
That's because Washington still got to grow them and send them out.
We have some in New York. I saw them in the store.
Well, we have
cherries.
We have them in Missouri. I just saw them at Aldi.
Oh, I think we're losing her.
I'm here. My internet's horrible. I think my kids are streaming instead of doing their homework.
Well, when I got kicked off, I yelled at all my kids. I'm like, get your butts off the Wi-Fi. Mommy's got a meeting. So does anybody take Recover or Recharge? I kind of like it. It's not.
The Recover I do, but the Recharge, I tried the chocolate and I thought it was like really sugary.
Oh, it's only in vanilla.
Never mind. That was the Recover. Okay.
Yeah, there's only one flavor. This one, it is not vegan because of the, these are all whey based. I mean, there is a vegan on the Recover, but I don't know that Recharge is quite as popular. It's in the supplement line, but I don't think a lot of people take it. So the texture is really.
I will probably be getting some for $6.45.
Yeah. Yeah.
The feeling I might need it for that program.
I'm so excited about that. I think it's going to just be really fantastic to train with a trainer that's like so used to training individuals like that. I think it'll be really good. All right. Well, let's move on to creatine. Okay, you guys, I should put up I wonder if I put up the chat thing, if people can see the links to stuff on the recording. I'll put it over there. Okay, so creatine. So I've seen a lot of questions about creatine lately, and creatine is an amino acid that helps your muscle do just a little bit more. Okay, so it is not itself a bulker. It just helps you lift the weight a little more, like maybe one more rep, maybe a little bit more pounds, right? So that you can then gain more muscle. Does that make sense? Because I think a lot of people associate creatine with bodybuilding and bulk. But in the end, it's really just allows your muscles to do just a little bit more. And it's one of those things where it needs to be consistent. And yeah, definitely with heavy lifting program. So like if you, let's say on your 10th rep, you couldn't do anymore. Maybe if you've been taking creatine, you might get one more rep in, or you might get, you know, another pound in, you know, on your weights. I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things that's really small, but the volume of work over time is enough that it then shows up in your lean muscle mass. So creatine is one of the things that's been the most studied of any supplement for, you know, exercise, and deemed safe, rarely has a side effect. There generally isn't a complication. So there are some, if it's something you want to do, you can look into whether or not you want to front load to get creatine in before you start, or if you just want to start taking a scoop a day. I just take a scoop a day and have a consistent amount. And then over time, it's consistently ready in your muscles. Because basically what happens, you ingest the creatine, and it doesn't actually matter what time of day you take it. I take mine with my Energize, but you could take it after a workout. You can take it really any time. The goal is that there's creatine sitting in your muscle. And I put this video in there of Megan Davies explaining it, but basically that creatine creates, it gives a phosphorus atom so that your body can then convert the energy to adenosine triphosphate, which then energizes your body. The creatine is holding onto it, gives it away so that you can do more. It's not one of those things where like you're going to take it and then, you know, you're like going to be instant, you know, The Rock or something, or like crazy bodybuilder. Does it, so Beverly, does it recommend it takes it, Beachbody does? Because I haven't read that, to take it with a high carb beverage. Are you, oh, okay, it's on the label of the Beachbody one. Okay, that's good to know, because I don't take it with a high carb beverage. So maybe I should take it in my Shakeology to get it with a little more carb something.
Sorry, I'm not unmuting because my son's playing piano, so you guys wouldn't be able to hear me, but he just stopped for a second. No, I mean, it says it on the thing, on the label, but yeah, my husband uses he uses tart cherry juice just so that it's something, because the other benefit with tart cherry is that it's an inflammation reducer too. So, yeah. So that's why he does that. And you don't have to use like a ton for you to get it. So he'll use like 4 ounces of that in water and creatine.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah. And I've seen tart cherry juice around. In fact, maybe even Costco carried it for a little while or something. I feel like I saw it in a big market like that. Oh, what else? Okay, so some women also have avoided creatine because you can tend to store a little more water in your muscles. So you can have a weight gain from it. It is not a fat weight gain. It is a gain of your body storing more water in your muscles to hold the creatine to be there and ready. And when I say weight gain, I believe it's like a 1 to 3 pound, and it can even out. So just depends on how you feel about the scale. I don't weigh myself, so I didn't notice a change when I started on it. I've been doing it like a month now. All right, any questions on creatine? You guys are all so quiet today. All right, that's it. That's all I've got for supplements, unless there's other supplements you want to talk about.
Well, you want to just talk about this Shakeology? Because in my mind, that's a supplement.
Yeah.
Is it a supplement?
Well, I mean, yes, right? Because it's extra. It's not just food. So Shakeology was developed to be a nutrient dense shake to help us get the things we may not be getting in our regular diets. That could be because you're not a whole food eater. You may not like Carl, the president or CEO of Beachbody, was not a vegetable eater. So he wanted Shakeology to be able to get the same kind of nutrients you're going to get from a vegetable without having to eat the vegetable. It is like I consider it like a multivitamin for your day, right? Because you're going to get an assortment of things that you just normally wouldn't necessarily get from your regular diet. Or you're getting a little bit more depending on how your diet is. And it is well balanced. That's what makes it a meal replacement. It's got carbs, protein, fats. And then you can add things into it to flavor it how you want. I mean, there's a gazillion recipes out there to be able to make it taste like just about anything. I think we all enjoy the peanut butter cookie recipe. That one's delicious. So, there's lots of different options with it. And then it also has a substantial amount of fiber so that it is the fiber then obviously helps with your good bacteria and to help clean the system out. There's pre and probiotics, so that your good bacteria is flourishing and more abundant. There's adaptogens, and maybe Beverly can mention a little more about adaptogens because I think you have more knowledge about this, but basically they help, some of them help with mood boosting, and they are in there, they help your body, they will adapt to help your body in different situations like stress, so that you're feeling better about things and less stressed, and your body doesn't take on the stress in itself. So
do they sell it in a sampler where you get different
they
flavors?
do. So you can get either the regular sampler, which uses whey protein, or you can get the vegan sampler, which uses a blend of pea and quinoa and various vegan protein sources. And then we just had a big announcement this week where the vegans are now going to be certified gluten-free. They already are gluten-free, but we have not had that designator on the packaging because they weren't necessarily, I think, tested to make sure they were completely gluten-free. So now it will be. And then we have a new flavor coming out called Cookies and Creamy.
Will that be vegan too?
It is vegan.
Cookies and cream.
So when they're saying gluten-free, does that mean it was made in a place that doesn't also make gluten ingredients? Like, is it really gluten-free? Like a celiac can use it?
Yes. In order for it to have a stamp that says gluten-free on it, they have to be running it through a facility that does not manufacture other products that contain gluten, or they have to go through a rigorous cleaning regimen in between, which most places will not do. So I mean, I thought that they were all going to become gluten-free.
They are. Yeah, they are. So they said as the supply goes down, they will then convert them over to the gluten-free. Yeah, so all vegan. I don't think they said regular, but all vegan.
I kind of thought that the regular ones were going to be also.
Oh, okay. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, because I didn't hear it say, I guess I may have missed it, but I didn't hear him actually directly say the vegan formulas will all be transitioned over. I heard all of the Shakeology formulas will be transferred over, but I may have not.
Well, like the beach bars we call them gluten-free, but on the back, on the small type, it says they're manufactured. They're not totally, I mean, they may not be gluten-free. They're not certified gluten-free. And that's why, why I asked.
Right. It would make more sense if all the shakes were gluten-free though, because of just manufacturing purposes. It would just make more sense if they're going to go to that extent of having that.
So and Kathy, I couldn't possibly tell you, there's like 70 different superfoods in Shakeology, but I can send you the site so it lists it all out.
Yeah, I have a book that was.
Yeah, exactly. And so it'll talk about the benefits of each thing and why they put it in there. But it's funny because anytime we hear of like something that's a little more popular, like we were just talking about ashwagandha the other day, and that's kind of been a, you know, a name dropper thing lately. And we've had that in Shakeology for years.
So the sample pack, is there only like one pack of each flavor, or is it
Correct.
like?
Yeah, one of each flavor. And I think it's 7. Is there 7 in the vegan now? Oh, there's only 4?
I was looking it up today, so I know that the sample pack has 4 for $19.95, but if you get the clean week, it'll have 7. The clean week sampler has 7.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that is really good is that it has digestive enzymes in it. And basically that just means that all of those nutrients that you're getting, your body is more readily able to absorb the nutrition, whereas a lot of times our bodies are not really capable of absorbing everything that we're eating. We might eat the most amazing foods, but if our gut is not in a place to produce enzymes to break that down and be able to absorb it, it won't. It'll just pass through. It'll get what it can, but it won't get as much.
Mhm.
So that's one of the benefits from it, is that you really don't, you're not overdoing the nutrients because it's so well, there's like a symbiosis going on. It's very symbiotic.
It
The
is.
entire formula.
Very
the
happy
way that they
biome
design it.
in your gut.
Right, exactly.
And if you watch Down to Earth with Zac Efron and Darren Olin, he in the documentary, I mean, kind of goes through the whole thing, but there's like a few episodes where he's going in search of superfoods and he's talking about them, and it's fascinating because he talks about the superfoods, which are obviously in Shakeology. We all know this, and that's like super exciting. But then I watched a follow-up interview of him from his yurt with Autumn, and he was talking about like the superfoods in Shakeology, which he developed, and it was just really cool to see him talking about that on Netflix. And they've just renewed for a 2nd season.
Oh,
So
good.
if
I
you
loved that
haven't,
show.
yeah, I did too. It was really cool. Actually, I really enjoyed it.
I love that too. I was just thinking that I was going to watch it again recently. I was just thinking about it today.
Yeah, it was
I
so,
love it. Yeah, so good.
makes me want to go to Iceland.
Yeah, me too. It just made me put a post and say, I just said he was like my fitness crush. And I was like, have you seen, you know, like I just can't help but promote him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super nice too, from what
I'll
I understand.
post some videos in the group too. I haven't done it very much, but he's started making a few little clips about why he's selected certain things and how they benefit you. And so I'll, you know, drop some of those into our group too, so you can see them, because they're like 3 minutes, but they're really great about why he does it.
If you follow him on Instagram, it's he will do lives, and he'll have those short videos on his Instagram plenty. He's fascinating to listen to. If you really are interested in that type of, like, I geek out over nutrition and what our bodies are capable of when they're given the tools that help it to thrive. And I just completely geek out over it. So I do.
And he has a book called Super Life.
And it's such a good book if you
I wish
haven't read
he
it.
had narrated it though. I was so disappointed when the other dude started narrating. I was like, I wanted to listen to Darren.
I have a food question not related to supplements.
Okay.
Tomato sauce. They count it as a purple. Why not a green?
Well,
Is
a
it
lot.
purple if you buy it in the store? Would it be green if you make it at home?
True. So a lot of tomato sauces that are purchased. And now are you talking like a marinara, like a pasta sauce?
Yeah.
Or just, okay. So for both canned tomatoes and pasta sauces, turn your label over and make sure they didn't add any sugar. There are a few brands of spaghetti sauce or marinara sauce like Rao's that don't add sugar, but many do. So if it does not have added sugar, then it can still be a green.
Okay.
If it has that added sugar, and I even in regular just straight canned tomatoes, they're adding sugar, like Hunt's adds sugar. So you really gotta make sure you're turning.
I looked at my cans because I made a sauce about 2 weeks ago, and it said there was 4 grams of sugar, but none added. So I guess that's
Right.
in the
Yeah, and
tomato.
that's normal. Tomatoes do have sugar, so
Okay.
that's normal. Yeah, it's
So
just
I can use it as a green then.
yeah, I believe the threshold was like 5 or 6 grams is when
Okay.
it goes to purple.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
Because I'd rather use it as a green instead of a
I
purple.
hear you. I'm with you. Yeah, throw that over some spaghetti squash too, and you're all set.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we can go. Does anybody have any other questions about anything in general or any labels you want to talk about? We've only got a few minutes. Oh, Joy, you've got a label? All right. Oh, you're on mute. I need a t-shirt. It says you're on mute.
Sorry.
It's all
I
right.
saw this at work. They had it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It says super
Oh yeah, I've
food
seen that before.
creamer.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried it?
I've read about it and I looked up the labels. I have not had it in my coffee. It's mostly
gluten-
fat, isn't it?
It's gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, dairy-free, soy-free. Now, if you do, there's 8 servings in this one packet. If you do just the serving, which is 3/4 teaspoon, it's 10 calories. It's got 1 carb, 1 sugar, and added sugar is less than 1 gram. But if you do the whole 2 tablespoons, yeah, you want to throw it out the window. There's like 5 grams of sugar, 5 grams of added sugar. Saturated fat is 6 grams. But why is it say like superfood? What do you get?
Well, what's in the ingredients? Let's see what the superfood is.
Okay, coconut milk powder, organic coconut sugar. Sorry, my lighting's not very good. Acumin, AQUAMIN. Calcium from marine algae. Organic extra virgin coconut oil, and contains tree nuts, coconut. That's it.
So I guess they're considering coconut a superfood unless that aqua. Let's look it up. How do you spell it?
AQUAMIN.
The marine algae may be considered that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a marine mineral. So I don't think that you think that could be a superfood too.
Yeah.
I'm saying that may be what they're considering it to be.
Yeah. Well,
I have no idea if it is, but
a lot of people felt like coconut oil was like the second coming, and it was going to be like this amazing thing that you just like feel fantastic on, but it's just a fat. It has some interesting properties to it, but it's
not that special.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like the end all be all of health. So that's interesting. So I would say that like when we call a superfood, I think it has a little more backing. Shakeology.
Yeah.
It's kind of like calling something natural, right? It just
right. Yeah.
So I've got a weekend coming up. We're going up to my daughter's for 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because we're celebrating my birthday and her birthday. Mine's tomorrow. Hers is in 2 weeks. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I have to stay on this, but I know it won't be totally because I'm going to have ice cream. Because I have to.
You should have cake for breakfast too. Not to be a bad influence, but.
So I just have to, and I exercise with my daughter because we do all kinds of stuff on the computer, so I will get it in. But I'm just gonna do
don't keep from celebrating, Kathy.
Yeah, have the things you want and then fill the rest in with a bunch of veggies. You know, I mean, like just have the things that are important to you that are meaningful and you're gonna enjoy. and fill the rest in with veggies and leave it with the weekend when you're done on Monday.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
leave it there, and you had a great time and you enjoyed time with your daughter, and focus on that piece of things.
Yeah.
And
So that's good. Like
So-
you said, leaving it there. Cause like I wrote before, like you saw, I had a binge yesterday and you figure, all right, I did this and I felt sick this morning and it just continued at lunch. I'm like, why did I do this to myself? But I'm back now.
yeah.
It was good
And
for
it-
dinner.
And it's
That
good
was
to
yesterday.
recognize, yeah, it's good to recognize that you didn't feel great, because then you can think back and be like, okay, I didn't feel so great overeating, right?
Yeah.
But don't beat yourself, right? Just leave it back there and be like, okay, I don't want to do that again, or I don't. And but you know what? It will happen.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the last time,
Right.
but maybe it'll be less each time. And then
So
you
do you
kinda-
guys go through binges? Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
you are certainly not alone.
Okay.
No, I even brought a label.
Oh, Justin's. I'm all in.
Yeah, I brought a label for
Oh, yes.
Justin's and Chickpea Chips. They were not eaten together.
Yeah.
It was not a breakfast, it was a snack separately on different days,
That's funny.
far apart. This is actually, I've been saving this label for 2 weeks now. I'm embarrassed to admit that, but I was just so excited to share with everybody. So,
All right, let's do it real quick, Mariana.
okay, so these are chickpea chips. I had never had them before, but they came in some bougie snack box that my husband got sent from his job. And it's 7 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber, Himalayan sea salt. The total fat content is 3 grams, 110 calories per container. And the container, in case you want to know, is 1 ounce. And chickpea flour, rice flour, protein concentrate soy, tapioca starch, fiber, soy, yellow split pea, vegetable oil, Himalayan salt, vegan friendly. And the total carbs are 14 grams, protein 7, 1 total gram of sugar, 0 added sugars, sodium, not as bad as you think it should be, 190 milligrams. So,
Any fiber?
4 grams.
Okay.
So they were actually pretty tasty. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And there's no sugar added into it, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
a yellow.
It sounds good. I'd be curious about the soy sources.
Yeah, it
but-
just says contains soy, and then it's
Right.
like fiber saw and
Tapioca
port-
starch. Is that what it said? What is that? Is that
Yeah.
bad?
So tapioca starch is probably just the starches from tapioca, and it's just going to be a thickener. Or maybe helps, keep it together. It sounds like a good sometimes, yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice. It was just different. And it was
Yeah.
like yeah, it was better
What's in
than
the less
eating the
carbs?
what's in the what?
Yeah, it wasn't, but I
Wasn't
think
very
it's
many
still
carbs.
I think it'd still be
No.
considered a yellow unless maybe you're on the vegan plan, because any kind of it had chickpeas as the most, and that's a yellow.
Yeah.
So even if
And
even with
Total carbs.
protein element,
Yeah, because it's 4 grams dietary fiber, 10 grams of carb, or 14 grams of carb, so a 10 gram net carb.
Yeah.
So not too shabby. But yeah, so I can now throw this out. So thank you, ladies. My husband thanks you.
you
He's
can
like,
get
"What
rid
is
of your
this?" I was like,
package before you move.
Was it worth it? Would you do it again?
I don't think so.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, they were good. They were different, but like, I mean, I'm not a big chip person. I just wanted something. I had had a tuna fish wrap, like lettuce wrap, and I wanted like something crunchy, and I wanted a yellow. So I was like, oh, I'll try these. They were okay.
Okay.
I mean, if it was MySpace, it would not make my top 8, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
not my top 8.
What's the other label you had?
The other label is Justin's peanut butter cups. They're dark chocolate, and that's because I accidentally grabbed dark chocolate. I'm just going to be real. I wanted the milk chocolate, but God had other plans. So it was dark chocolate, and 1 serving size is 2 cups at 220 calories, but I didn't eat both of them at the same time just because it was just too much. The total carbs is 20 grams, only 1 gram of fiber, 16 grams of added sugar, and
Oh,
4 grams of protein. So yeah, it was not. So individually, it's 120 calories per peanut butter cup.
Yeah, they're good though.
They are good. They are good. So but
They're
yeah.
legit. All right, you guys, we're already at 6 o'clock. So if you had something you want us to look at, feel free to pop a picture of a label in the recording post, and then we can talk through it. Or if you have a question or anything that comes up, and then we can, yap at it in that post. And
Do you want me to take a picture and post it in the comments, Deanna? Would that be helpful?
sure. And I can grab one here too. I'll put the chat line down. Does everybody have your face ready? Everybody got your face? Oh, I gotta get the glare here from my window. Okay, we ready? Okay, I'll post that in the group too.
what nice smiles on everyone.
It was good to see you guys. Is there anything you want to talk about next week? Maybe we'll pick something we learned from our UPF certification to go off of.
Way to apply the pressure, Deanna. I like
Right?
that.
Watch the videos, ladies.
Better
We
watch
better
the
get
videos.
busy then.
Seriously. All right.
You're
Well,
Yeah, I don't want to be the only one.
you
I know,
won't,
Joy's
Joy, I
like-
promise.
Joy's the
I will be
5-star
caught
student
up.
right now.
I know. I promise I will catch up. So
We'll
awesome.
be there with you, Joy. We're gonna do this.
Don't worry. We're with you.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
I see
Bye.